Hello everybody. If somebody can just confirm. Okay, Powersman. Basically, I'm just about to start my Facebook Live. It's too early to take any calls at this moment, so if you can wait until later, please. I've literally logged on to do my Facebook Live. First of all, good evening to all of you from Bakote in the Gambia. Where I'm currently on vacation. I don't know whether I'm coming loud and clear. If somebody can just confirm if I'm coming loud and clear before I proceed. Okay. If somebody can just confirm to me if I'm coming loud and clear, then I can just proceed. Just waiting for somebody to confirm that I'm audible. If I am audible, if somebody can just confirm yes before I proceed. Am I audible, guys? Thank you so much, Alaji Singate. Good evening from Banjul, the Gambia. This is going to be my first Facebook Live since I came on vacation. And I'm really pretty much enjoying my holiday in the Gambia. And I'm sure most people who are actually in the country enjoying the beautiful weather in the country. It's quite relaxing here. It's just that things are a little bit different, but this is our home. This is where we know, so we are pretty much used to it. The reason why I came to do my Facebook Live, I come here to the Facebook Live today, is because of the growing concerns in the country. Particularly related to the two incidents that happened in Mankamangkunda in the URR and in Busumbala yesterday, that the West Coast region. And I think we all saw the live Facebook of the situations that happened there, and just a couple of hours we all saw the decision by the government through the Inspector General of Police to revoke all permits given to all political parties because of this incident, political violence in the country. I don't agree with the decision that the government took. I don't think it is the wise decision. I don't think it was a smart move, but I will go into that later and give my reason. I am just going to address a few issues here. We elected a government. We elected a government to look after the affairs of our nation. Change happened, and then we are all very much euphoric about the change. We're all very much happy about the change because it's a change that ushered in democracy and good governance in our country. Gambians are freer today than prior to December 1st, 2016. And there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of expectation from the Gambian people. People looking forward to, rapid change of the institutions. A lot of things happen, but this is going to take time. Some of us have always said that the government needs to be given time to do institutional transformation, and I still maintain that. I still maintain that the government cannot change things overnight. Because institutional transformation is not a fly-by-night thing. I agree on that. But there are certain things that the government should not be complacent over. And this is about security. Security of our nation. That's something that no government can just, procrastinate and say you want to be given time. Security has to be addressed straight on. Look, the ministers, the heads of institutions in this country should realize you are not given a position just to sit in the air-conditioned offices or just to drive in air-conditioned cars and have the title, man, my minister. man may IGP, man may this. When people are appointed into positions, we want to see change. That's why appointments, that's why change, when people are appointed, obviously change has to happen. When a new Secretary General and the head of the civil service appointed, we want to see a change in the way things are done. What is the point in changing the Secretary General when the new Secretary General will just continue the status quo? This is what this is very sad in Gambia, and in Gambia in particular. We see ministers being recycled. At the level of the Interior Ministry, my party was removed on the 13th of November, 2017. Barely 2 months, we saw another minister being changed. That is Habib Drame. Now he's now the Secretary General on the head of the civil service. So categorically, it has created an institutional lag at the level of the Interior Ministry. Okay? Because you change the minister, within 2 months, another minister is changed. So there's an institutional lag there. So the new person has to come up with a new style and everything. This is the problem we have. But the political leadership has to realize that when you do change, people want to see change. And when I say change, change in approach, change in the way you deliver things. Is this really happening? Secretary Generals from the Jawara government, we saw Secretary Generals being changed. What has changed in the civil service? They don't come up with any innovation. They don't come with style. Secretary General's job is not just to replace permanent secretaries. Secretary General has to transform the civil service. Secretary General should come up with monitoring mechanism. Secretary General should come up with styles to visit the heads of the institutions. Not just sit in the office. Okay, I'm going to move this person from this department. Look, until we stop having square pegs in the round hole, Gambia, then it will be very difficult to change the situation. When change happens, we want to see change. It is not just change of personnel. We want to see change of approach. It is disheartening to see so much violence, so many demonstrations, a lot of political violence within the space of 12 months. And now, the press release that came from the IGP's office is permits given to all political parties have been revoked. Is this a wise decision? This is what I want to ask the Inspector General of Police. Is this a wise decision? Because what you have done basically, anytime there's a violence, then you're going to cancel permits for everybody. Is this really a smart move? Look, let the politicians, let the policymakers be more intricate, Gambia. Let them be smart thinking. The resources given to the Interior Ministry, like the budgetary allocation, 766 million, all right? So I don't agree that it's a good decision. You might think that is the best decision, but look, what is going to happen now is, next time another party is going to do political rally, somebody will go and provoke them, and there will be political violence, and the government will have to come and revoke permits for everybody. This is going to be consequential in the long term. You might think that it is a good strategy. Why can't the police deploy enough officers at every political rally, where there's going to be 200 or 300 or 400 police officers? Where can they deploy so that that political rally goes ahead? Because if that happens, you're sending a message that once we issue permit, that political party rally has to go ahead. The government should be assertive. The government should be in control. But if you allow the political the supporters and the political violence to make you change and revoke permits for everybody else, then it could become a trend. This is my worry. It might be a good decision in the short term, but in the long run, what you're going to encourage is, next time, for example, if GDC is given a permit, another political party supporters goes and then violence, then another party like UDP would suffer to cancel, to have their permit revoked because of the stupid action of supporters of other political parties. Is this something that should be done? Is this something that should be done? Because yesterday, when I drove past Latrikunda, I saw APRC supporters on the streets of Latrikunda with virtually no police presence there at all. No police presence. How can anybody do that? Look, let the leaders realize, like some of us said, I'm a supporter of this government. I support this government, and I will continue to support the government because we want the government to succeed. But that doesn't mean that when we see concerns, we will not raise them. The point is, you don't just give permit and then let have a security lapse. When you issue permit, you should deploy officers on the ground. Look, the essence of having police officers on the ground will have two benefits. One is going to make sure the police can make sure that the supporters of the APRC will not be provoked, or if anybody provokes them, the police can charge those people, arrest them and charge them. Secondly, is also going to stop the APRC supporters provoking the other political opponents. That's why the president of the police is very paramount. Why can't the Inspector General of Police redeploy troops? The budgetary allocation, the $766 million is given to the Interior Ministry, is given to maintain the safety of Gambian people, internal security, to make sure the resources are available to the police. This has to be done. We should not just be sitting in the air-conditioned offices, driving in air-conditioned cars, going to meetings. That's not the role. That's not how things work. That's not how things work. If you're appointed a minister, it doesn't mean that you just sit down and having a telephone. And sometimes you have to be on the scene. All right? It was just this morning. I understand cabinet had to meet. Where is the security committee? The emergency security committee. They should have met yesterday. They shouldn't have waited until today. Look, emergency meetings can happen in the evening. They don't have to wait until morning. They should be, in the UK we have what you call COBRA. There's a emergency security council. Meetings are called, emergency meetings are called. And we should have the same style here. And because we sometimes too laid back on the security, okay? Let people understand what their job roles are. People just want titles. I'm a minister. Sol necktie, sol coat, sol waramba, and you think you're here for nekamak. Alright? When you're appointed, you should deliver. You should deliver. When you're appointed as an Inspector General of Police, you're appointed. And then look at the social media yesterday. A lot of people, mainly in the diaspora, concerned about the issue, about the things that they saw on live Facebook. Alright? They should have had, yes, Caesar Monday morning. They should have held an emergency meeting last night. Because an incident happened a couple of days ago in Mankamangkonda. Alright? Barely 2 days after, same incident followed in Buzumbala. And it escalated. Only for cabinet to meet today. Do we have Security Council? Alright? And you know what? I have some people say, some of us are advocating for my party to be reinstated. No, look, we know that the president has the decision in terms of who appoints as the minister or not. And I respect that. When the president removed my party, I said I respect the president's decision. He has the constitutional power to hire or remove or redeploy or reassign minister or ambassador. That's the president has got that prerogative. He has. And as a citizen, I respect that. But one thing is clear. When the Kalila incident happened, Honorable Maifali cut short his travel. I think he was meeting in one of the West African countries. I don't know which one in particular. And then he addressed the nation. He was very assertive, and some people started calling him that he was a dictator. The way he spoke to people, he was a dictator. He spoke tough, right? But since then, we saw semblance of law and order in Kalilai. Did we hear any incident in Kalilai again since then? That's why leaders have to be assertive. Leaders have to be in control. Look, we don't want dictatorship. We don't want a government that will impose heavy-handedness on our citizens. Because those days are gone. We let that to the idiot, Yaya Jammeh, the monster, The man who's got blood of innocent citizens on his filthy hands. But now, we want the government to be assertive. We want the government to be in control. We want the IGP to be assertive. Look, cancelling permits, yes, it might work as a best decision in the short term, but like I'm saying, in the long run, are you going to be cancelling permits anytime there's a political violence? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to make everybody suffer because of stupid behavior of some certain political parties? APRC is a criminal party. I'm going to say that. Yes, they are legally registered. But APRC was headed by a criminal, Yahya Jammeh. APRC was led by a killer. We all know that. Gambia. Alright? Come in. Okay, we all know that. Alright? So, hold on. Sorry. Not just put it here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. So, this is the problem. Okay? APRC, we all know, was headed by a criminal, Yahya Jammeh. So what do you expect from APRC? This is the man who nurtured that party. And it's very sad now. We show alliance of certain PDIA supporters holding brief, trying to hold brief for APRC. This is what I cannot get. But it shouldn't surprise anybody, should it? Should we be surprised as citizens? Should we? And now they came out with crazy allegations, saying that they have got WhatsApp audio messages of the Combo UDP WhatsApp group threatening to attack. Yes, came out about, I'm still in Gambia. Threatening to attack APRC. The first question I asked myself, okay, Lamin Tamba broke this news yesterday in a live Facebook broadcast that most of us were watching. Okay? So did they have an insider in that WhatsApp group and all of a sudden that person fed that information, or what happened? How did they automatically got that WhatsApp group in 48 hours? And again, how did the UDP WhatsApp group, how did they know the travel itinerary of APRC that they will be arriving at this point in Buzumbala? How did they know? For them to create a WhatsApp group to discuss purposely, you know what? Not every Gambian is gullible. That's why I challenged Suleiman Bokarba today. And Lamin Tamba, I said, you know what? Release those audios, go to Facebook Live, play the audios so that all of us can listen to it. Today, there is a Facebook account called Lamin Cisse. Because this is the stupidity of some of these people. He created a Mandingo name, Lamin Cisse, and he's pretending to be a UDP supporter, and now he's appealing to UDP. Look, you don't need the 6 common sense to know that those are the machinations of APRC supporters, but they are just exposing their stupidity to the world. Just like this WhatsApp group, let's listen to the voices, because what I have challenged them is, let them give us the full list of the people in that WhatsApp group, because this is a small world. They can go to Busumbala. If you say, for the Drame, for example, is in that WhatsApp group, people in that area would know which political party for the Drame belongs to. Because you say you have a WhatsApp group, you must have a detailed name. It cannot be one person. So I challenge the APRC and the PDRS people who are making these allegations. Let them release this WhatsApp group and release the full list of the names. And even hand over the audios to the police to do the investigation. Because you come up with, Suleiman Bakarba didn't say allegedly. He said he has a copy of the audio of UDP guys threatening to attack. He didn't even say allegedly. He didn't even cover himself to use all of it. He was very authoritative. Lamin Tamba also said the same thing. Alright? But you know what? A couple of months ago I said something. Some people are really pathetic. Some people are really sad in our political discourse now. Some people are absolutely pathetic. One time I listened to an audio. I don't like to go into these tribal gimmicks because I think it's completely nonsensical. We are all the same. Gambia, whether you are a Fula or a Jola, a Mandingo, a Wolof, a Sarahula, a Manjago, we're all citizens with equal rights in this country. But some people have got these stupid tribal insinuations in their head. And no amount of preaching can get it from their heads. We heard audio somebody pretending to be insulting Jolas. But when you listen to that audio, you know that person doesn't have an action of a typical Mandinka. But the person is acting as he is a Mandinka, insulting Jolas. Look, we all know, we all have actions. If a Fuller starts speaking Mandinka, you most likely know it's a Fuller. If a Jola starts speaking Mandinka, you will know it's a Jola, right? And if a Mandinka starts speaking Wolof, you will know this is not a typical Wolof. So, these games got to stop. Creating a Facebook account, call yourself Lamin Cisse. Like if somebody goes and call yourself Usman Joe, for example, and you start insulting, calling yourself that you are a Wolof, for example, and start insulting the people. That's wrong. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't go that low. Okay? Alright? Let us stop these stupid behaviors in our discourse. Because it's not going to take us anywhere. Because the reason why I challenge the APRC supporter Lamin Tamba and Suleiman Ba, okay, somebody just said, I just watched the Imam said they were having naming ceremony at the compound and the APRC convoying, let me just read that bit, and the APRC convoying the Imam compound was holding political rally. Look, Karamba Swari is just sharing that information. So look, investigations are going to be done, alright? And look, I want to express my profound sorrow to a colleague who I see a Unity Generation talk show with, Surahata. Because yesterday by this time, Surahata rang me and said, Sedili, they bombed and they attacked my shop, you know, the APRC guys. And I was so worried about his safety. That's the first thing I was worried about. Because material is something else. You can always acquire that, alright? Your life is more important. I said, are you safe? And he said, yes. I said, try to be very careful of your surroundings. He's only here on a vacation. He's invested in a shop in this country. And that was vandalized. Because of what? We all know that APRC, some people are trying to defend them, saying that they're provoked by UDP guys. Look, most of those people today, let me say something here. There are some PDI supporters today. You put the ballot box for Yahya Jammeh and put the ballot of Hussein Odabo, I bet they will vote for Yahya Jammeh. There are certain PDI supporters today, you give them the choice, vote between Yahya Jammeh and Hussein Odabo, they will definitely vote for Yahya Jammeh. That's how sad some of these people are. That's the level of hate that they have in them for United Democratic Party. So when incidents like this happen, the first party they would naturally blame is, oh, it's UDP that provoked them. But look, let's use logic of reasoning. When the Kalilai incident happened, when APRC confronted the economic troops, was that orchestrated by UDP? Was that orchestrated by UDP? They started it. They had their people in the diaspora, a lady in France, some APRC guys, organized a protest because they wanted to protest for Yahya Jammeh to come back. And they started that. APRC is built on violence. APRC had a leader that taught them nothing but violence. It's not a civilized party. It's not a civilized political party. Should this be new to anybody? Should this be new to any Gambian? Why can't people understand that this is a criminal party? This is a criminal party. Yahya Jammeh promoted nothing in this country except violence. Alright? Yahya Jammeh started shooting students in April 2000. Alright? Yahya Jammeh sent his evil forces to go and kill broad daylight people like Data Haidara. Alright? So what do you expect supporters of that party, how do you expect them to behave? Alright? It's a criminal party based on, they treat not nothing apart from criminality. The incident in Kalilai, which political party was there? Right? You perpetrate nothing but violence in the Gambia. Look, any image of Yahya Jammeh should be banned in this country because it's bringing painful memories into the minds of people who are still waiting for justice to be implemented in this country. Today I made a posting, alright? I made a posting and said, the Nazi salute is outlawed in Germany because they don't want the painful memories of the Holocaust. Okay? Alright? This is what is happening in Germany. Yahya Jammeh, and today, Yahya Jammeh left this country it's almost coming to 12 months now when he left this country. Up to now, we don't know who the APRC leader is. They still cannot dissociate themselves from that criminal. They still don't want to dissociate themselves from criminal. they still want to have something to do with a criminal. And you know what? It's really upsetting. We know you are a registered political party, but it's upsetting for some of us, for the victims of this country, to look at the baboon face of Yahya Jammeh on those Asabis and t-shirts. It's annoying. Detach yourself from Yahya Jammeh and have peace, and then you can build bridges with other people and not burn bridges. Yahya Jammeh is gone. He's not going to come back in this country as a leader again. If anything, Yahya Jammeh deserves to be tried for the crimes that he committed in this country, and he deserves to go to hell. The UDP leader is like Hussein Odabo. Hussein Odabo is a Secretary General and the party leader of the United Democratic Party. Right? He is a leader. We don't know who the APRC leader is. There's not been any official announcement. Up to now, you haven't officially detached yourself from that. The government should come out and say, no, I'm not advocating for APRC to be banned. It's a legally registered political party. But if they want to continuously associate themselves with that murderer, that's why today, one lady in London, I'm going to call, maybe she wants to be famous, Fatu Jan Jaiti. Same on you, same on Usman Sanyam, trying to call me, I'm a flip-flopper, I never supported UDP. You got no morality to talk to somebody about morality. You're supporting a murderer. You're advocating a murderer. You defended a murderer. In fact, you were a spy for people in London, spying on certain people who were fighting against Yahya Jammeh. So for those people, I'm not going to waste my time on those people. But the government should be tough in administration of anybody. Look, as difficult as it was under Yahya Jammeh, that's why I heard somebody, I think it was Fatou Rahman Koka, who was covering that live video yesterday. She said, Lumbonbon under Yahya Jammeh, there was law and order in this country. You know why? Because the Gambians were afraid the man was a murderer. He used to kill people. He would send his troops to go and use live ammunition at the protesters. That's why Gambians were afraid of him. Alright? So now, this is a democratic government. This government cannot be autocratic. They shouldn't be autocratic. This government can't use live ammunition against protesters. They can't, because if they use it, people will condemn them. Alright? Now, what is happening right now is this government should understand one thing. They should talk tough. I was expecting the Minister of Interior would have addressed the nation yesterday. Okay? He would have addressed the nation and said, you know what, this government wants to condone democracy, but we want citizens to be responsible. Democracy comes with responsibility. Why is it that all the time, APRC, you had your rally at the buffer zone? You had your rally at the buffer zone? Who went there to provoke you? And you had photos, you circulated the photos at the buffer zone. If people were always provoking APRC, how come they didn't go and provoke APRC at the buffer zone? Because you didn't have a moving convoy. You even attacked the compound of the Imam. You're telling me the Imam of Busumbala would provoke APRC supporters? What made the APRC send people to the compound? We saw the live interview. He said they threw stones on his compound. This is the Imam who had no political, he might have a political bearing, but of course he's a religious figure. That shows the irresponsible nature of the APRC. And you know what, some people are advocating, you know what, where APRC have got right in the country. Who said they don't have right? Who said they don't have right? But a party that had a criminal leader, that had a bandit in the passing of Yahya Jammeh, what do you expect from that party? You expect civility in that party? Yahya Jammeh doesn't know anything about civilization. Yahya Jammeh hasn't anything about civilization. So he taught the party that they should be aggressive. Because he used to be aggressive to people. He used to threaten Gambians. I will send you 6 feet deep. Who was telling Gambians that he was going to send people 6 feet deep, 9 feet deep? Who was using that? Was it not Yahya Jammeh? Was it not Yahya Jammeh who used to stand on the podium and threaten Gambians? I will tell you to my hotel. APRC is built on nothing but criminality. And that is a fact. Alright? So we have to understand one thing. Look, we cannot allow APRC idiocy, some of their supporters, stop all the political parties from doing their peaceful rallies. UDP had a rally in Buffer Zone, which I attended. Right? We didn't provoke anybody. Okay? We were there for a couple of hours. We didn't provoke anybody. I saw them on Latikunda. I was driving my car. They were chanting. They were making chanting. So if some people who cannot stand the guts of to see this baboon face Yaya Jammeh on this Asabis, this rotten Asabis, I would call them rotten Asabis, because you got the face of that baboon Yaya Jammeh on it. I cannot stand it. I don't want to see his rotten face, even on the $10 note right now. Look, the $10 note, right? You got his baboon face there, all right? There's the $10 note. I don't want to see it, all right? I know printing of money, new notes is going to cost the government money. But if I had it my way, they will remove his baboon face from our money. I don't want to see any memories of this man. So you think it is easy for Gambians who are still awaiting for the TRRC to start its work? You think it is easy to see that this baboon face that I'm looking here, this baboon face, the man who wrecked our country, the man who messed our country, you think it is easy for us to have the sight of that man? And some people are talking about, yes, it's democracy, it's democracy. Let me ask you a question. Are we more democratic than the German people? Are we? The Germans are a million times more democratic than us. But you know what? They try to wipe out all the memories of the Holocaust because it was bad. It was evil. Xam nga ñun Gambians, what's your problem? Anything we do, guys, you gonna ham aduna bi, because this democracy, freedom, we want to wear it all over. Whatever we, okay? All right, Lamin Tamba, I don't want to see this baboon face man on this money, because he's a baboon face. This man has got the blood of innocent people on his hands. You know that. All right, and you guys shamelessly, APRC shamelessly cannot still detach yourself from this man. What you need to do is apologize to the Gambian people, all right? Apologize to Gambian people and detach yourself from Yaya Jammeh, and you will see a big shift in the paradigm, in the way people will treat APRC. Do that. If you are smart in your political ideologies, you want to reconcile. Do you know how it hurts Lamin Tamba if somebody murdered your dad or your mom or your uncle? Do you know how it hurts Lamin Tamba? This man has killed, look at the two Americans that came from America, Ibu Job and Mahmoud Sise. This man murdered them and buried them in Kalilai, and he was lying to Gambian people that he didn't know where they were. So you think it is going to take easy for the family of those people to see Yaya Jammeh's face on that Asabi? What's wrong with Fabakary Tombonjada? What's wrong with the people like Lamin Tamba? Lamin Tamba, you live in the Western world. You live in England, okay? All right? Astaghfirullah. I never supported APRC from 1994. I have never supported Yaya Jammeh from 1994. The people who know me, when I was at the Ministry of Trade, when I was working here, my childhood friends in Lamin, they all know that I had nothing to do with that murderer. The gullah face, the baboon face. I will never have anything to do. So now, APRC is not ready to detach themselves from Yaya Jammeh. Come in. They are not ready to do that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about guys. So they are not ready to detach themselves from Yaya Jammeh. The Gambia government. I'm going to address President Barrow and the government. Look, we have the president. My advice to you: you have the decision who you appoint in your cabinet. You have decision who you want to appoint in the top government jobs. But don't put square pegs in the round hole. What I've seen in this country, and I said it at the beginning, people will just be appointed. They will not come up with any innovative ideas to change. I have seen that. Look at the traffic on the road. The bicycles with no reflectors on the streets of Serekunda. The other day when I watched Checkpoint and the interview with the then Interior Minister Habib Drame, who is now the Secretary General, he was asked a question: what plans do you have to adjust the chaotic traffic schedules in the Gambia? And he kept talking about long term, and the man said, no, we want short-term solutions. He couldn't actually give any tangible idea. When I watched the program, the traffic situation is in this country is in a mess. And when you talk to people, they said, "Yen hanga yen solen joge Europe. Not all but tubab dual camera and go." The life of a Westerner. Okay, hopefully. Sorry, I think it's just that the quality of the internet is got freezing. I'm back now again. The life of a Westerner is not more valuable than the life of a Gambian person. Drivers driving recklessly in our roads, the bicycles in the middle of. All right, I do apologize for this pause in transmission because our internet connection keep fluctuating. But I was just talking about the traffic, the horrible, the situation with our traffic system in this country. Why would the authorities in this country allow people to ride in bicycles with no reflectors at night in the dark streets in a very busy traffic, and the cars are moving and you'll be driving your car and the next minute you will see somebody on a bicycle with no reflector at all? Why can't the government come out and give an instruction that at night nobody should ride a bicycle without a reflector, and when the police see you they will park you? Is this magic? What are these leaders paid for? What is ministers in offices for? What are permanent secretaries? What are heads of institutions for? Because you want to protect the lives of citizens. You allow people to do whatever they want. And they come and tell you, Janin tubabudu man killing. Al dekelano tubabudu. Tubabudu, luale atina tubabol for the tebe daming. Tubabol, they have laws in place. We are not saying that our systems and our infrastructure should be the same as them, because we are not as developed as them. But the reason why we are not developed as them is because of us. Simple. When you appointed an interior minister, you should come up with innovative ideas, bring something new. But all these ministers, most of these times I have seen these appointments from the PPP government, because Yahya Jammeh, boss, I don't want to talk about Yahya Jammeh, because Yahya Jammeh was a failed leader. But from the PPP government to now, you see ministers appoint, Minister X is being replaced by this. What sort of innovative ideas does this appointment do? What do these people think these appointments are for? When you're appointed as the head of the Secretary General, and a change happen. We want to see change in the civil service. We want to see auditing. We want to see expenditures being reviewed in the civil service. We want to see the way the civil service administered, and people can say, oh, when they brought him in, he or she brought this change. But do we see these things happening in this country? What's the problem with us Africans? No wonder Africa is backward. Africa's share of the world trade is less than 2% of the world trade. Very pathetic. You go to the offices, there's no monitoring mechanism on productivity. This is the role of the Secretary General on the head of the civil service. You should be able to have productivity monitoring mechanism for all the departments. But if the Secretary General doesn't even know what productivity, or maybe he knows what productivity is, but he doesn't know how to start measuring productivity, how is that going to be implemented? We need to really change, and change fast, Africa. When you want to talk about it, they said, so if you come out from abroad, they try to, some of them, they try to sideline you. They feel intimidated. Look, Malaysia, the reason why Malaysia succeeded, they brought their brains from abroad, merged it up with their domestic, and they progress as a nation. Reach out to people with ideas. But I have seen, when the ex-Secretary General was there, when the ex-Secretary General was the one that was removed, what change did he bring from the Yahya Jammeh Secretary General? Now I'm going to give this new Secretary General, I hope in the next 6 months, we will see. Sure, yeah, I will see some changes. Okay, I hope in the next 6 months we will see tangible changes. Okay, all right. Fatu Jan Jaite, you joined my video. I'm really embarrassed to see you. How can somebody support a murderer? Look, with all the arguments that you have said about me, I have got thick skin. And you said something that's really stupid. I'm gonna say here that if UDP was not in the opposition, I would not support them. Look, why was I in the opposition when Yahya Jammeh was in power for 22 years? If I was an opportunist, and I said to you today, I would have joined Yahya Jammeh. 22 years I refused to join Yahya Jammeh. I did my masters in England. I was offered a deputy permanent secretary position 10 years ago. This is not 5 years ago. 10 years ago. I was told, come back home. You're the permanent secretary. The people who are in the Ministry of Trade, the now Deputy Permanent Secretary, Lamin Damfa, sorry, is alive. Ask him. I seniored all those people at the Ministry of Trade. Now he's the DPS. Okay? If I'm an opportunist, I would have joined the Jammeh government, because you said I don't oppose. But I oppose a government. Yahya Jammeh was the biggest fool that you can easily praise, sing, and get what you want. But Fatou Jan Jaite, you support a murderer. You've always been supporting a murderer, a killer. You cannot tell me that Yahya Jammeh hasn't killed Gambian. The evidence is out now. But you still supporting a killer. And today you have the audacity to say that Jammeh is better than me. Look, alhamdulillah, I don't have blood of any innocent person on my hand. And inshallah, nobody can throw the picture, but I pray that it doesn't happen. Because nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow. But I'm not going to willfully, never even contemplate of even killing a cat, much more a human being. Alright? So, I'm not going to waste my time on this lady. Because this is a lady who hugged me in Crawley. I said that today. She saw me at Ngente, hugged me, and then we laughed. But today she's trying to discredit me on Facebook, thinking that she can, discredit me. I'm not going to waste my time on that. But let me address the officials on this country. Let me address the officials on this country. Because the officials on this country, look, when change happens, we want to see change. We want to see institutional change. I'm going to support this government because I'm going to disagree with people who want immediate transformation on institutions. That's not going to happen. That's why I would never agree with Halifa Saleh when he said we don't have system change. All right? I will disagree with him. We do have system change because we are not under dictatorship anymore. The democratic system of governance is what we have. But let us start challenging ourselves as country people. When you appointed a minister, leave a legacy in that office to say that, oh, when I was a minister, I did X, Y, and Z. Because I moved policy from this step. Because the point of change is to add value. You don't change to devalue an institution. When we have a new Minister of Interior, we want the Minister of Interior to be better than my party. And if I have a new minister, then that minister should be better than this new Minister Mbalo. Because that's how countries develop. But if you cannot be better than the ex-minister, then you have failed. Seriously. If you are a new Secretary General, you should be better than the ex-Secretary General because you should add value to the institution. Don't stick with the status quo. Secretary General's job is not just, like I said, changing many permanent secretaries, appointing permanent secretaries, going to functions, writing speech for the president. This is the traditional role of the Secretary General. Speech for the president. When the president travels, you go with the president, write a speech. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. Secretary General, come up with innovative ideas that can transform our civil service. This is what, if any Secretary General is going to do this, he's going to be the best Secretary General for Gambia. Look at every department. Go to this department. Why are Secretary Generals not doing monthly visits of the head of the institutions? When was the last time you saw a Secretary General visit Ministry X to go have first-hand information how things are done in that department? When was the last time that happened? Can we ask ourselves that critical question? Why is that not happening? Why is that difficult for a Secretary General to have monthly visits? Go and have tete-a-tete with this department, see how these departments are run. Why is that difficult? From the PPP government, and I don't want to talk about Yahya Jammeh government, alright? Alright? I don't want to talk about Yahya Jammeh's government because that was a disastrous government. I don't want to talk about it. But Secretary General, you came into the office, bring innovation, bring something better. Assign every ministry. If the ministries are overstaffed, look at it and have a productive, small, effective organization. But what's the problem, Africa? People think that when you're appointed as the head of an institution, so your job is put on a necktie, sit in, have a telephone, go to meetings upon meetings, seminars upon seminars. It's not that it's going to advance our nations. That's not going to advance our nations. Having workshops, that's not going to advance our nations. We have to come up with smart thinking. We have to do SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT analysis of the institutions, and come up with something tangible. Come up with something. How many of these ministries have got a software where they design to monitor productivity of a staff on a daily basis? How many government ministries in Gambia have it? Why can't that be a simple Excel spreadsheet? You don't need any sophisticated software. You monitor, for example, a data record clerk. You target somebody in your ministry saying, today I give you, you have to do a daily recording of this, of X amount. And if the person fails to do it, they have to give reasons on their productivity sheet. Is it just a power failure? Is it because you went to a meeting? Put reports on there. This is where we want change, ministers to change. We want officials to come out something. If you are appointed interior minister, and then the interior minister was there, the traffic situation is still the same. What value have you changed? You've given a budget, 766 million given to you, interior ministry. And you know what? I visited a police station in this country, and the police officer told me they don't have even the computer. It's just the head office in Banjul that has got a computer. I couldn't believe my ears. Computer, they don't have it. For Yahya Jammeh's 22 years, none of these police headquarters have got a computer. You know, when you go to the police, you know what they do? They take paper and write manually. In this day and age, there are young Gambians in this country who just graduated from school, who are very technologically savvy. Assign them to the police officers. Send them to attachment. Give them a computer. They can create a database for you in every police station. This is what smart thinking is. Come in with ideas. Why can't our secretary generals and our ministers have these smart ideas in their heads? Is it rocket science? The young people at MDI, the university graduates at the University of Gambia, most of them are very good with computer. If the old folks cannot run a computer, just go on them, send them to attachment to the police headquarters. Most of these police stations should have at least 1 or 2 computers bought for them. Particularly the major police stations. They don't have computer. It's already in the head office. And we're talking about transforming. We want to record. We want to bring changes. All right? Okay? Bring talent. Bring people with ideas. But they feel intimidated. This is what I have seen in this country. They feel intimidated. Immediately you start talking. Look, Gambians are the same. Alright? Nit ku nekk sa wërsëg dañ ko am. That's why when I hear people talking stupidly about diw sangam dafa ut liggéey, diw sangam dafa ut liggéey, you know what? You know what I believe in? Destiny. What you're gonna be, and nobody can stop that. Nobody in this planet, be the president, be the vice president, be the ministers, cannot stop what God has ordained for a human being on this planet. Because God has ordained it, it's going to happen. And when the time comes and when the clock ticks, it's going to happen. Nobody can stop that. But we should have open mind as Gambians. Let's be open-minded. Let's share ideas. Let's learn from one another. Because nobody has monopoly over knowledge. And nobody will ever have monopoly over knowledge. No Gambian will have monopoly. No human being will have monopoly over knowledge. You know some, other person will know some. Alright? But wearing suits, yes, Binet Bojang. Wearing suits and big haftans. It's not going to be the ideas. Come with ideas. Sometimes I get flabbergasted. Alright? Changes. This person is now this person is this. And 6 months down the line, it's the same status quo. Alright? Exactly. Gambians in general are good in ceremonial funds, and that responsibility that comes with a portfolio. Thank you so much, Alkali Mdiba. This is what I cannot understand. For me, when I'm appointed, if I'm appointed, like say I'm appointed as the head of the cleaners in a department, for example, I will sit down, say, what can I do? That's why I was talking to some of these mayoral aspiring candidates. I said, when you want to become a mayor, look at the budgetary structure of this budget. Come out with something. Do something new. Something that you can innovative. We have to be innovative. That's the key word. We cannot just remain the same way. Or it's just the change of guard and the change of personality. Why are football managers change in the big clubs? Manchester United, Chelsea, when they change these coaches and these managers, the owners of this club want to see results. That's why they change them. So when the president changes a minister or head of an institution and there is no change in approach, there is no change in deliverance, there is no add value, there is no change in terms of value being added, what should the president do? Call that person minister. Assess. You know what? The president should have one-to-ones with their ministers. I'm sorry this is happening. The heads of departments should have one-to-ones with their directors. Have one-to-one. I spoke to a staff at one ministry. I'm not going to mention the person's name. The person said to me, the only time he sees the permanent secretary is when they go across the corridor. Morning, boss, nangadev, and that shit. They don't have general meetings, staff meetings, monthly meetings. They don't have one-to-ones. Can you imagine? How would you know what that staff is up to? Only then you see, nangadev, morning, sir, morning, and then you go. You send the file, minute. Communication is in the file. Look, verbal one-to-one helps a lot. It does help a lot. Okay? Alright? Don't listen to these haters. I'd rather have you running things in the Gambian. Oh, thank you, my sister, somebody. It doesn't, look, maybe some of people are going to misconstrue it. I'm not, look, some of us are not bothered. Okay? What is important? Have the people who can actually do this work in the right places. Let's stop putting square pegs in a round hole, because that's really bothering us. Just because I'm more comfortable with Mr. X and Mr. Y, I want Mr. X. Put the right personnel. And if you put somebody in there, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, the person hasn't come up with any plan of action to change things around, then you know the person is not up to the job. 6 months. I'm not saying that you should do institutional transformation in 6 months, but at least you should come out and say, you know what, I'm the permanent secretary in this department. I'm the minister. I have studied this ministry. I want to do things differently. I want to change. And that's why we have these problems of political violence in our country, because the Minister of Interior that was there and another minister that was there come up with a plan of action. Look at the police. How do you empower the police to deal with emergency situations? The ex-Minister of Interior, that's what happened, the first task that he should have got. Sat down with his team and said, you know what, when there was an emergency crisis, how will the police respond? But yesterday, when the violence happened in Buzumbala, and then you have got this lady doing the live Facebook, most of us were watching it. The citizens were at each other's throat. The cars were vandalized. Where was the rapid response? Where was the rapid response? And that was the job of the ex-Minister of Interior, who could have put in place sufficient plan of action. Like if there was going to be political violence in Serekunda, the biggest, the most populated town in Gambia, not region, because Brikama in terms of West Coast region is the most populated in terms of municipality. But Serekunda, how do I deal with a crisis situation? Look, in the UK right now, those of you who live in the UK will understand this. They are teaching young children how to deal with terror threats at this young age, because they are planning for the future. They are not waiting for things to happen and they are teaching children how to respond to terror threats in the United Kingdom. This is where the Western world always outclass us. They think ahead. They don't wait until things happen. The role of policymakers is to plan ahead. That's the whole role of policymakers. Interior, you've got the Interior Minister, you've got the Permanent Secretary, you've got the Deputy Permanent Secretary. You should have daily meetings and say, you know what, this incident happened before. Now we have a rapid response team. If this happened, what is going to happen? And why are these people not having emergency meetings even at night? They should even be able to have an emergency meeting even if it's after 6 or 7. Why do you have to wait until the next working day? This is why you are giving official vehicles. This is why you're giving official telephones. This is why you're giving all the comfort so that you can do your job properly even in an emergency situation. But the incident was in Buzumbala yesterday. People had to wait. I got a call from somebody in London today and said, you guys need to speak up because what is happening in Buzumbala is not right. The Imam's compound had got tear gas. Why would the police throw tear gas in the compound of the imam? How irresponsible was that? What is wrong with these paras? What's wrong with these people? Why would you send tear gas in a compound of an imam? Do they know? Are they properly trained? Are these people properly trained? Why would you send tear gas in? The imam had already suffered yesterday. His house was vandalized. And today he had to go through the trauma of getting tear gas thrown at his house by the people who were supposed to protect him. Pathetic. And I'm not happy with the decision. I respect it. But look, let them think hard. I know some people are saying it's a very good decision. You see, we should become intricate people, Gambia. Let's imagine of the consequences. Right now, I know UDP is supposed to have a big rally in Brikama on Saturday. That will be cancelled because they said, the letter from the IGP said permits for all political rallies have been revoked. And UDP is not going to be an exception. Fair play. Every party, every political party have to pay the price for what happened. But my point here is, so now, next month, if there is a political violence, are you going to revoke permits for everybody else? Are you going to maintain that and be consistent? This is where I disagree with this action. Because what they should do, if I was in that planning team, what they would have said, you know what, we will suspend the APRC rally because violence happened there, suspend it, and whether it is GDC or UDP or NRP holding the plan, let it go again, but we will provide adequate security to make sure that rally, and that's where you send the strong message to the citizens that with this country we are in charge, we want to maintain law and order. But if you succumb to pressure, the government has succumbed to pressure and said, now you know what, we're chicken out, we're going to cancel all the permits and until further notice. Is this really a smart move? Let's all have be critical about this thing. You know what? We shouldn't be gullible as citizens. Because most of the time people are just gullible. Oh, government don't definitely banner. At least it will maintain. In the short time, it's going to maintain law and order because everybody will go back into their cells. The supporters of APRC will go back into their cells, and the other supporters will go back into their cells. But for consistency purposes, are you not going to put yourself in that precarious situation where next time another political party involved in a violence, and then maybe GMC want to do a political rally somewhere, GMC would have to suffer because there's a political violence between GDC, for example, and UDP, for example, or GDC and APRC. How is this going to happen? Let people be more sophisticated. Look, God has given us the brain so that we can analyze the issues. And this is why it's called teamwork. But what happens is no matter one person will make the decision, everybody goes ahead with it. No, somebody will just say, money. We will cancel all the political parties. But you don't think about the implications. Because every decision making, you have to think about the implications of your decision. The IGP could have thought about, okay, you know what? If I cancel the permit this time, what if it happens again next time? I'm not going to keep on cancelling the permits. Why would another party become a victim because of the irresponsible action of another political party? This is completely, I don't understand this. I don't really understand it. The police should always provide adequate security because these rallies are not like daily occurrence. So it's not like you're putting too much pressure on the resources of the police. Like if the political rally is held this month, maybe you'll have another rally, maybe it's going to happen 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time. It's not like a daily thing. So why can't they just provide adequate security? Exactly, Fatima country. That means every time other parties organize something, APRC will come out again to cause trouble. They could come out again causing trouble, okay, just to force the police or maybe convince the police, okay, you're going to revoke a permit. Is this smart thinking? On this one, I disagree with the Inspector General of Police. That's me. The others can disagree with it. I'm going to speak my mind on this because I'm a citizen. I have right to have my own thinking. I'm an independent thinker. I don't let other people do the thinking for me. Every situation, I will analyze it and I will look at it. Alright? The UDP as a political party could agree with this decision. I'm not here speaking on behalf of the UDP. I'm speaking on my own behalf as a citizen. Because I'm looking at this critically, analyzing the situation. Does it help? Is it going to help? All right? I don't understand it. So some people are trying to join my Facebook. I cannot take because the quality of the internet in Gambia is so weak sometimes that if you want to get somebody to join your call, it can affect the broadcast. So that's why I'm not taking calls. All right? So this is the problem that we have to look. So I am here just to express my frustration with I'm calling on the authorities. We have to understand that the primary function of electing a government is to improve the welfare of the citizens, provide security to the citizens, and that's why we have all these millions and millions in the budgetary allocation. All right? If the government fails in that, then it will have serious question marks. All right? And the heads of our institutions, I have visited some offices here. I wasn't going to do this live Facebook until I go back to the UK, where I was going to give assessment of issues here, but this incident in Busumbala and Mankajamangkunda forced me to say something, because it is something that is there. All right, I'm not frustrated, Fatih Cham. I'm not really frustrated. I'm enjoying my holiday, but look, we cannot sit down, rest on our rollers, and we support this government, and I'm still support this government 100%, because for me, I don't think it's too. I'm going to question this government in terms of institutional performance, and I will never question that. But there are certain basic things, administrative lapses. We shouldn't have that. That's where my point is. Okay, APRC. You know what? I think I'll stop responding to you, because you see what? Whenever I look at I think of this man, this baboon face. He annoys me, so I'm not going to respond to you. But people who have been appointed to positions don't fail our country. And let's stop the individual personal development at the expense of the nation. There are a lot of things happening in this country. Some of them, when I safely return back to the UK, I will talk about those things. Let's talk about moving the country forward. There's a lot of infrastructure development that needs to be done. The roads are in poor shape. Some of the roads are in bad conditions. The other day I took photos of Banjul, and I wondered why the people of Banjul kept voting for Yahya Jammeh. I can't just figure out why Yahya Jammeh was winning in Banjul, and that poor infrastructure, poor road condition. Banjul, the capital city of Gambia. The people of Banjul, and Balanga de Garanyina, hey, man, why Banjul appear? Why Banjul appear? You should be conscious. If you think that the capital cities around the world, this is where consciousness starts from. Because it's a capital city. If you go to Dakar, most of the time, they set the tone on the politics. But these people were voting for that baboon who completely neglected development of Banjul and developed Kalilai. He took most of the stuff to Kalilai, was giving them free rides and everything in Kalilai, when the road conditions in Banjul are in such a terrible state. You go to certain streets in Bundung, in Serekunda. You go through the Serekunda market. You go to the city. There are no tarred roads there. So what did Yahya Jammeh do for this country? So he had put certain highways in just to fool the people. But where the ordinary people resided, Yahya Jammeh cared less about them. Where the ordinary people resided, the road conditions are terrible. Okay? Alright? So this is my take. I'm not frustrated on anybody, but I want institutional performance. Let people deliver if they're appointed. Because these people are so title obsessed with title. Hi, my minister due, my director due, my permanent secretary. And I have all of the yes, you are a citizen. If you are employed, they're fine. But the question that you should ask yourself, and the question is, what legacy are you going to leave in the department? What legacy? If you are appointed as the Minister of Health, for example, and the situation continues to be the same as the ex-Minister of Health, then you have failed. Bring new ideas. Start something new. Why is this a problem for Africans in general? It's a big problem. Alright? What is the problem? Why we cannot use this and come up with ideas? We don't need to be going to the World Bank and the IMF to be borrowing money. We don't need to. Attitudes have to change. Behaviors have to change. It has to start from the leadership. It has to start from the people at the top echelons of governance. And then it can trickle down to the citizens. Things are getting better. The electricity situation is getting better. It's not as bad as it was. And that's a plus for the government. I'm going to give them thumbs up for that. Thumbs up to my work. They promised us in December. In December now, I'm not saying that there's no power shortages, but there are plans even for Gambia to benefit from the dam facility that Ghana was going to provide. But this country has to build a transmission network. But once we start, importing electricity from Ghana, then we'll be fine. But things have to be done slowly and slowly. We will reach there. But right now, we cannot play with security. We cannot play with internal security, Gambia. Because you know what that's going to happen is going to drive away investors. Like little things here, an article is published in a newspaper in London or in Sweden, you're driving away tourists. Like Surahata is a Gambian, indigenous Gambian, who came here to invest, but had his shop burned down by some irresponsible APRC supporters yesterday. What will that cost? Some people are going to be scared and say, you know what, I'm going to be afraid because the life of my property is not going to be protected by the government. So let's think twice before we come up with certain decision making. It's going to help us. Alright? It's going to make us better. Let's be supportive of ourselves. But let's start ideas. That's what it was going to move our country forward. If anybody is not delivering, he or she should be moved. Because you are in that position, you are paid salary, you are giving allowances, you are giving official vehicles, you're giving official telephones, not just to showcase, but to add value. I'm going to focus attention, right, on the Ministry of Interior, because the stability and the peace and stability of this country is sacrosanct. We can't compromise that, because without peace and security, we cannot even think about development. We cannot think about development of our country. And people will ask him, ECOMIG is in the Gambia, why are we having this? ECOMIG, they're here on a mandate, alright? But we have got our police who are in charge of internal security, alright? They need to be empowered. They need to be empowered. If they are not empowered, then we're going to fail. The authorities of the police headquarters, please empower the police. The job of the police is not just to stand on the road. When you come to the Gambia, you see the police, most of them female police right now, they're directing police officers, cars and whatever. Right? It's not just when there's a crime or whatever. Look, I am not happy with the traffic situation of this country. That needs to be reviewed. And the new Interior Minister, in the next couple of months, we want to see you design policies to address this traffic mayhem in the country. Then you would have added value to that ministry. But if you stayed in that ministry for 3 or 4 months and then 2-3 years around and somebody visits this country and finds the same man, I would think that you have failed. The whole essence of change is to add value to something. If somebody is appointed, it's not just because of change of personality, change of name. Hi, do you say I'm my minister? What are you going to do in that ministry? What are you going to do in this department? This is what we should ask ourselves. Somebody just wrote a comment here and said, oh, he has confidence in the new Secretary General. That's good. That's good news. I think it is Mr. Suare who said that. But I have seen Secretary Generals been changed in this country and nothing changed in the civil service. I can say that here. It is the same status quo that used to happen. Secretary Generals from when they were Sabalis and what is his name? Secretary General Sarah Jaha and all these things, people, what has really changed realistically? What innovative ideas did they come up with? Because we don't challenge our authorities to say, come up with more innovations. I want to see that. I want to see measure of productivity in the civil service. If that is not done, we're going to fail. Alright? Let's hope that's implemented by the new SG. And not just, okay, Mama SGB, they move permanent secretary from this ministry, they might move key, because that's what they do. And they might be in the president with speech. If that's the role of the Secretary General, then anybody can become a Secretary General. Seriously. If that alone is the role of the Secretary General, anybody can be a Secretary General. Because you just move, okay, DPS Nangam, authorized people. No. You come up with ideas. That's why when you see presidents in America, presidents in most of the developed world, they come up with plan of action. When David Cameron won the election in the UK, he had a clear plan of action. He was going to cut the budget deficit. He was going to create jobs, and he did it. He did it. He came out of his plan. He had an instruction given to the Chancellor of Exchequer. I want you to do this. The Chancellor of Exchequer came with a plan of action. I want to create jobs in Britain, and he succeeded in doing that. But most of this rare change of personnel in our civil service, what change do they bring? Nothing. Just appointing from this, I'm going to move this person from this. Is that the job of the Secretary General? Seriously? Is that the job of the Secretary General, head of the civil service? They're giving you, paying you that fat salary, giving you official cars, giving you all that thing, and you cannot bring any innovative ideas as the head of a civil service and say that this person has brought this change when he's appointed as a Secretary General. I'm giving you ideas. Free consultancy. I said, you know what? Create measure of productivity. Assign every head of department to have a minute. Do monthly visits. Have one-to-one. Ask heads of institutions to have one-to-one with their staff. So that you can measure the policy implementations of each department. But if you don't do this, you just sit down and say, no, I'm my Secretary General, because you know what, most of the Secretary Generals, when they are changed, obviously along the line the permanent secretaries are going to change around, because everybody wants to say, I'm not comfortable with this permanent secretary in this department, I'm going to change this. Just like we had O.J. Jal, I'm going to repeat it here because I said it in the UK, people may think I'm going to be scared to say it here. I'm going to say it here. O.J. Jal shouldn't have that decision to say he was going to say no to that permanent secretary. That was wrong. He shouldn't be giving that free right. He has to choose who the permanent secretary is going to be. The role of who appoints the permanent secretary is the job of the Secretary General, and the ministers should not interfere. They can say, okay, they can give their preference. I want this, but it shouldn't be sacrosanct that they didn't want it. That was a bad decision of the government, and up to now, that decision they allowed that decision to uphold. OJ had his way, all right. And it shouldn't have happened, because next minute you create that situation where another minister could say, I know what, I don't want to work with the Secretary General. And you know, I'm talking about the Secretary General position because the head of the civil service. But this translates down the directors, the deputy directors, heads of institutions, everybody. If you're appointed, you should be innovative. You should come out with something new. Come out with something new, because it's going to help. It's going to transform that department, because Gambians want to see change. All right? So that's the thing. Somebody said, I'm glad his decision was accepted. Well, maybe you would be glad, but is it something that's right? Is it morally right? That's a question. Because it's not the job of the minister to reject who becomes his permanent secretary. Because if that is going to happen, what about the information minister also says, I don't want this person to be... If I was the president, I would never have accepted OJ's decision. I was going to say, okay, you don't want this person, but the person of your choice will not also be allowed to be the permanent secretary. You should set the tone. But again, look, people are different. That's why the leadership you require to be assertive. That's the quality of a leader. You have to be assertive. Be in control. If you allow your ministers to make decisions for you, along the line you lose control. And then if you want to assign, then you become biased because you want to be hard with one minister and soft with another minister. Then that's where people are going to say you're biased, and you start losing control. You have to get leadership about being consistent on decision making. So now I'm going to address the Gambian people. Please, Gambia, we have got what other countries couldn't do. We removed the dictator through the ballot box. Why do we need all this fighting? Why do we need to attack one another in the name of politics? Why can't we practice decent politics, Gambia? Why can't we allow people to go and do your political rallies and stop chanting? APRC, the permit that they gave you wasn't given to you for you to abuse President Barrow, insults President Barrow. Now, once you start chanting abusive language, you are provocative. You're being provocative. You see, this is the problem. This is the responsible part. Permit doesn't mean that, okay, you're giving permit so you can say whatever you want to say. Because the information that we had in Mankaman Kunda, for example, they started chanting, attacking President Barrow, abusing President Barrow. Oh yeah, they're accusing this. He's useless, he's this. You don't do that because you're causing commotion. Go to your rally, talk about policies, talk about the policies of APRC, talk about if APRC is elected, this is what we want to do. You need Kujuli, what's our problem? What's our problems on them? Look, the poverty and the why we are this is because of our attitudes. Why do you have to propagate violence? And when things happen, everybody wants to be defensive. No, it is the UDP guys who attack us. They came to protect us. And then you've got now, because they sang. I feel sorry for some of the PDI supporters. I'm not going to generalize it all. I told it to Kexhane yesterday. He came in a video accusing UDP of the one being provocative without any evidence, without any material evidence submitted. He just took a position and said, it is UDP that provoked APRC. Because, you know what, dafa daw yaram, abalafa wartale sain. Iko APRC of all people, PDI's coalition support, just because they have so much hate for UDP. This is so pathetic. You see people like Suleiman Bakarba trying to defend APRC of all people, APRC that ruled this country and caused many. Okay, guys. I think I have to wrap up the live Facebook here because the internet is just playing really bad. In fact, I'm surprised that it allowed me to go on this long. I want to thank all of you. This will be my last Facebook live until I safely go back to the UK. And thanks for all the support and all of you who are sending me messages. On that note, thank you so much, and we pray for peace and stability in this country so that Allah can, maintain peace for our country. We want our country to develop. We want better Gambia for all of us, so that whenever people come here, they will, live happily together. We are one people, one nation. We shouldn't, left to me alone, I'll ban every t-shirt that has photo of Yahya Jammeh. I don't want to see his face, but obviously who am I? I don't have any authority, but we hope our parliament can discuss these issues, so that we can, and I hope there will be swift the proceedings of the TRRC will start because the victims are still waiting 12 months on. We don't know the real facts behind Yahya Jammeh's banditry actions. So we hope for the best of our country, but I want to send a message to the United Democratic Party supporters. I'm a member of the UDP. I want to appeal to every UDP supporter. Let's be responsible. Yes, we have right to defend ourselves if attacked. We have right to defend ourselves if we are chastised on Facebook. But let's be the bigger people. We are a decent party. The leader of the United Democratic Party, like Ousainou Darboe, is a great man. He has clean records in this country. You cannot associate criminality with him. He's a highly educated man. a very respectful man, the man who, wherever you hear his name, you associate it to decency. Unlike the leader of the APRC, because I call him the leader of the APRC because they have refused to dissociate themselves from Yahya Jammeh. Anything with Yahya Jammeh is evil. He has killed people. Something that like Oceano Dabo did was to defend the people. He was a lawyer. He toiled hard for this country. He defended innocent people in the courts. So he had hallmarks of decency on his head. And this is the leader of the United Democratic Party. And he's always told his supporters not to take the law into their own hands, to be very peaceful and law-abiding. And I'm going to re-echo the same thing. This is the executive of the committee of the United Democratic Party. The leadership of the United Democratic Party, the head of the UDP Diaspora Committee, Mr. Mboj Cherikan, is a great man. He's doing a fabulous job on the ground. I want to pay tribute to him. He is a real perfect gentleman and somebody who is committed to the leadership to the United Democratic Party. I'm going to expand more on that in the UDP Generation Talk Show if I safely return to the UK. I'm going to expand on some of these things. He did an amazing job on the ground, and I want to pay tribute to him. There are a lot of decent people in the United Democratic Party. There are a lot of smart people in the United Democratic Party, and I hope the forthcoming mayoral elections in KMC and Banjul will be won by UDP candidates. I'm looking forward to that. KMC is important. We need to win that. We need to win Banjul to set the tone for upcoming elections in this country. We can do it. We have the pedigree to do it. We have the ability to do it. And I want to say, acknowledge Suleiman Jeng, who has just joined the United Democratic Party. He used to be a former ASP in the Gambia. He has now chosen to join the United Democratic Party. And this says a lot that UDP is not a tribal party. Suleiman Jeng made the right decision and to join the UDP. And then I want to talk to the UDP supporters. Don't fall into the APRC provocation. Let's be decent people. We don't need politics of violence in this country. We can always promote. You have to promote your party based on policies and ideas. It is not the cutlass. It is not the stones. It's not true by vandalizing people's vehicles that you can win the hearts and the minds of the people. Let's show APRC that we are decent. And we hope this will be the last time we will see political violence of this nature. We hope Busumbala will be the last time. APRC supporters, stop provoking people. Stop insulting President Barrow. Stop insulting Lawyer Dabo. Because they haven't done anything that you should insult them. Why you should insult them? Have they killed anybody? Have they tortured anybody? Your leader has tortured people. People have every reason to insult Yahya Jammeh. People have every reason to be mad at Yahya Jammeh. The current leadership haven't done anything why you should be mad at them. They won through a clean democratic process of voting. They didn't take the barrel of the gun to impose themselves on the people. They are not dictatorial. They are giving the rights that you have, they're giving it to you. Your leader was a bandit. If people insult your leader, take it on the chin and swallow it. Because you yourselves, if you call yourself decent people, and I'm talking to the APRC supporters, if you are truly decent people, you should be ashamed to affiliate yourself with that criminal. Same on all those APRC supporters who support a murderer. And you know what? Some people, I'm going to start blocking some people when I go back into the UK, because some people, I think you lack decency. If you support Yahya Jammeh, you are as guilty as Yahya Jammeh in terms of his criminality. Period. There's no if, no buts about that. You could rewrite history. People like Lamin Tamba have opportunities to rewrite history. You would have just announced to the Gambian people, apologize to the Gambian people for the bad behavior of Yahya Jammeh. Select a new leader and start rebuilding APRC's image. Without that, it will be very hard for Gambians to forgive you guys. And that's where all this tension starts coming from. Because if you kill somebody's father, you think that person will easily want you to wear an APRC asobi and walk past him? And then you want to call and say, yo, they're provoking us. You started provoking them first. You see, provocation is not just by throwing stones. You have what you call mental provocation. Do you know mental provocation, APRC? That's what you are doing. You're mentally provoking people. Where you are Jammeh's T-shirt, you are provoking Gambian people without throwing stones at them. So this is where I say we should be more complicated. We should be more sophisticated. Because to the APRC guys, what their understanding of provocation is to take a stone and throw at somebody. Provocation goes beyond that. That's what you call mental provocation. All right? Okay? Mental provocation. When you wear Yahya Jammeh's T-shirt and Yahya Jammeh kills somebody's father, you're provoking the child. How conscious are you guys? And this is where the Germans, because you know what, with the Western people, they always have foresight. They think the reason why Germans ban anything that related to the Nazi is because they don't want mental provocation for German people. Is that rocket science? Is that rocket science? Unless we stop this mental provocation when we see images of Yahya Jammeh, we see Yahya Jammeh stupid assobes, then it is going to be very difficult to contain the emotions of people. And there have got some people who want to say, you know what, we shouldn't be this, we shouldn't. Yes, I'm not going to promote violence in this country. I wrote against it, I condemn against it, attacks. But you have to understand the mental provocation that APLC guys are doing to Gambian people. Why are you guys not talking about that? You're mentally provoking people. Huh? Yes, the Muslims should not and should support Yahya Jammeh. Same on them, Rahim Jallow. It's true. How can a person you call yourself a Muslim and you want to support Yahya Jammeh and be proud because it's evidence has come out that this guy was a killer, but you still want to wear his asabe? And you don't care about the lives of the people lost. And then people like Lamin Tamba and Suleiman Ba want to run their mouths on Facebook to say that it is unity. Do you have any iota of feeling on the victims? Do you know what is going into their minds? All right. So let APRC act responsibly if they want peace and order in this country. Because look, we gave Yahya Jammeh, as bad as he was, people respected his rule, and 4 elections he won. People were not going near his political rallies for fear or whatever, provoking mentally. Look, accept the change. Gambians have decided Yahya Jammeh is not coming back again. There's no way he's going to come back. If you want to live in that foolhardiness, thinking that he's going to come back, stupid remarks by Fabakary Tombon Jatta, one of the man with no sense of direction, Fabakary Tombon Jatta. In fact, I don't listen to his speeches. I feel sorry when I hear people to listen to that man or watch his interviews on GRTs, because I'm not going to sit down for a second and waste my time listening to Fabakary Tombon Jatta. He's going to be the last person that I'm going to listen to. I better spend that time listening to somebody else or watching something else and add value to my time. Why would I listen to Fabakary Tombon Jatta? He talks a lot of rubbish. He talks a lot of garbage, just like most of the APRC folks talk a lot of garbage. They don't add anything value to their life. They lack any mental sophistication to add value to in my mind. I don't learn anything new from them. So I don't listen to Fabakary Tombon Jatta's videos. I don't listen to his deliberations when he's interviewed on GRTS. I don't watch it. I would never watch it. I will look at some of the statements on Facebook. This is what he said, because that guy is not going to add anything to my any value to what in my life in terms of mental orientation. Can you guys stop listening to that man? Because he talks a lot of garbage. He talks a lot of rubbish. All what APRC should do now is to apologize to the Gambian people. Okay? Apologize to the Gambian people for the mess of your leader. When I see Lamin Tamba saying, tomorrow 8 o'clock I'm going to go Facebook Live, I just laugh. Okay? The best Facebook Live that you will do is to apologize to Gambian people on behalf of your criminal leader. Apologize. All right, let me take my brother Surahata. I think he wants to join. Let's see whether. Let's see. If it doesn't work, then I think Surahata is. Surahata Nimbara.
Zilli, greetings.
I hope you are okay now.
I'm okay, but Busumbala was crazy, sadly. Yesterday, what happened in Busumbala was crazy, and this morning too. I don't go to my store. My boys were there, but this morning was worse than last night because the youth in Busumbala and the youth in Abuko, Yundum, they control the whole area for a number of hours.
Yeah,
they don't listen.
They don't. The police, when did the police arrive at the scene?
Last night, the police arrived in the scene, but they cannot control the crowd. They have to run. They have to save their own life and run away.
Seriously?
Yes. So the youths in Busumbala and Yundum, they control the whole area for 4 hours.
Wow.
They were there with the paramilitaries They have their own camp. I can call it camp.
Yeah.
They were burning tires, and any car that come around there, they will stop it and put the lights on, and ask you, where are you going? Who are you? And you have to talk to them with respect. Then they will let you go. The police, the paramilitaries are not equipped with anything.
They are not equipped.
All
That's
they can
I was saying.
with anything.
Yes.
They were having guns, but these kids are not scared of guns. Sadly, they have to talk to the youths. They have to put this in place, because a lot of these youth I talk to, they think this is what they tell me. Why the government give this with a permit to come and provoke them.
Yes.
And I swear to God, nobody can control this youth. What I see is very scary.
It's just a very irresponsible political party.
Sadly, I see with my naked eye. They took a baby crib from my store. In my naked eye. Nobody tell me that. I see it myself, naked eye. This guy came and poured a petrol on my stuff and set it on fire. No one tell me this story. I see this guy. And I don't have time to shoot a video. I'm trying to save my own life.
No, when I hear people telling you that you should take a video, that's not a very smart.
No, I don't have to. No.
Your life, your life is more important, Swahata.
But the good thing is, before I reached to Busumbala, on my way, I was shooting a video with my Pro Hero 3 little camera. One of the police officers stopped me. His last name is, I'm not going to mention the last name here for security reasons. Yeah. And he stopped me. He said, you should stop the video. I say, why? And I don't take these people's video. I say, well, I will take it. It's a public place. And I started shooting the video since in the forest. I swear to God, none of these APRC people attacked me. They were all yelling, yeah, and they were all yelling. They were happy I'm taking the video. But when I arrived at Farah, the police station, a police officer stopped my car and asked me why I'm taking the video. I say, I take the video and I'm not going to stop the video. And he forced me to open my car. My car window is electric. I cannot do it manually. Then I have a friend from Birmingham who I'm with last night, and the guy tell me to just put the window. I put the window down. The guy assaulted me in my car. That was a struggle. He wanted me to give him my camera. I said no. Then there was a big struggle there. Then I opened the door and I run inside the police station, and I was asking for the station officer. And the station officer, the station officer really witnessed everything. And the station officer told him that, no, you cannot do that. This guy don't do nothing wrong. And you know what? Guess what this guy told me? Oh, well, because of my superior, I'll let you go. The same guy happened to show up at my store. The same guy. He happened to show up at my store. So then my partner from Birmingham recognized me. He said, this is the guy who assaulted you. Then somebody punched him down, and he ran away and come behind me. I rescue this boy. I smuggled him through 2 compounds to take him to another house so that they're not gonna kill him. So this morning, what I did is I get advice. That was the time when Pastor Bajao called me. A lot of people called me.
Yeah, Pastor
Then I get advice.
Pastor reached out to me, asked for your number, and I gave it to him. Yes.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Then I get a lot of advice from people. I told them, okay. A lot of people tell me go and see IG, but instead of going to see IG, I want to take it from the low level to go up. I just don't want to go to see big people. So when I arrived at police headquarters today, I talked to a lot of people, and they listen to me. They take me to their disciplinary, whatever they call it, human rights disciplinary, whatever they call it. Then they take a case from me, and they take all the statement from me. And I don't know the name, but I recognize this guy. But Farah police station, they did a good job. When they called Farah police station tell them that that officer don't blend there. That officer from Brikama police station, and they mentioned his name and his last name. So on Monday, he might be arrested or he might be escorted to the police headquarters to be questioned.
Yeah.
So from there, I know what to do. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say anything right now on a live video.
Yeah,
But
you
I
don't have
know
to. You don't
what
have
I'm
to
doing.
put everything out there. Just keep some of the things to yourself.
No, and
But I'm very happy,
anyone who's
my brother. I'm
watching
very
is
happy
okay.
that you are safe because that's the most important thing. You're good that
I'm
you did a
safe,
smart thing.
and the thing is, not all my store was burned down,
Okay, that's
because
good.
what happened is the smoke. When they set up a baby crib with other clothes and shoes on fire, the smoke was so heavy. People are telling me, "You're a bit cold, you're a bit cold, you're a bit." But when I went there finally, I just discarded a lot of my chairs, destroyed a lot of chairs, and they set up a fire on some of my stuff. But not the whole store is okay.
That's
But
sad.
the property damage they did to me is crazy. But what am I gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah.
But I know everything is fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, Abaraka Surahata, thank you. I'm happy you came here to give
Yeah, the
account.
Ecomoc people are the Ecomoc people are still in Busumbala. They're still in Busumbala.
Yes.
Yeah, they're still in Busumbala. From Fara to Busumbala, Yundum, the Ecomoc people are still there. The pieces, everything is fine right now.
Okay.
But it's scary. It's very scary.
Stay safe, Surahata, and we hope the security situation in the country will improve. Abaraka Bagayamu. Okay.
All right, we'll link up, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, that's Surahata Fati. Was a victim last night of this crazy incident that took place in Busumbala. I saw something like Lamin Tamba said APRC wants to now reach out for peace. Well, it's good that you wrote that, but I hope you really meant it. You mean it rather, because the way in my advice, Lamin Tamba, if APRC really want to put an olive branch to Gambian people, first thing, maybe you wouldn't understand this, but the most pragmatic thing to do is to dissociate yourself from Yahya Jammeh first. Have no connection with Jammeh, because Jammeh, as long as you have attachment to Yahya Jammeh, it's going to be very difficult for Gambian people to forgive APRC and have anything to do with APRC. You saw something like Dembanjai wrote today. Dembanjai is not a member of the UDP, even though you started accusing him wrongly. Oh, look at what this UDP is doing. Because Dembanjai is very frustrated. Dembanjai can't stand the guts of APRC, and this is where the disingenuous part of the PDI supporters are. Look at Dembanjai. He doesn't agree with what UDP does all the time. So now he goes into disagreement with UDP. But the guy is honest enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to choose APRC over UDP. But look at people like Suleiman Ba and Keksani, because they hate UDP's guts so much that they even want to put a criminal party on top of it. This is really sad. These are the people that I used to uphold them to the highest. But to see them say things like that, how can you put APRC on top of UDP? You can dislike UDP for all you want, but come on. When it comes to decency, you cannot match UDP and APRC. UDP fought for this country. UDP fought and took this country out of dictatorship. And today, just because of political partisanship in politics, some of these APRC, PDIS guys want to come out on Facebook to defend APRC. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. But Lamin Tamba, dissociate yourself from Jammeh. Allow a new leader to be selected for your party. Come out and apologize to Gambian people. That's where the healing process will begin. Gambians are very forgiving people. Because you know what Adolf Hitler did in Germany. If they didn't ban some of those things, you think it was going to be easy for the Germans to heal that thing to heal? Dissociate yourself from Yahya Jammeh. Elect a new leader. It can be you. It can be you, Lamin Tamba. Because as far as I know, publicly, you're not affiliated with any of this torture or any of this, you don't have blood of innocent Gambians on your hands, publicly. So if you, for example, selected leader of APRC, okay, and then you made an announcement, made a country tour and say, we want to apologize to the Gambian people. You know what? Sometimes we Gambians, we just want to be hypocritical about things. All these people who are trying to say, if you don't solve the problem from the nerve center, the problem cannot solve. It's just like when you are ill. You have a medical condition. You go and see a doctor, or a GP as we call it in England. If you see a GP, the GP is going to diagnose your sickness before they will give you a prescription. To diagnose the current political violence in this country, APRC should take the step to detach themselves from Yahya Jammeh. We saw it on other countries. Okay, Burkina Faso, when their dictator was removed, the party's leader, the party selected a new leader. They didn't continuously affiliate themselves with Blessed Compaoré. Why is it so hard for APRC to detach themselves from Yahya Jammeh? Or are you telling us that you agree with what Yahya Jammeh was doing then? And you expect to have peace with Gambian people? And then some of this, I know what, it's very sad when I see some of the postings on social media. But you know what? 24 hours, we challenge APRC, right? But 24, Idibaji, are you APRC? Because you say, Bas, you are right, but he can't tell us what to do. Idibaji, can you confirm to me that we are APRC? Because last time I spoke to you, you told me that you are not APRC. So let me get this clear. So did you lie to me then? You told me that you are not APRC, Idibaji, but we are right now writing here, you cannot tell us that. Did you join APRC now? Okay, now, it's going to be very difficult for us to have this healing process when you have this affiliation with APRC, with Yahya Jammeh. Detach yourself from Yahya Jammeh. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to come out with solutions because it's painful. You guys, don't be selfish. Idibaji, if somebody murdered one of your parents or tortured one of your parents and you want to see the picture of that person, let's be realistic about people. The way to solve this problem, the Ghanaians had Rollins. Rollins killed Ghanaian people. But you know why Ghanaians came to term? Rollins apologized and promised and delivered his promise to the Ghanaian people that he was going to change the country back to democracy. He handed over power. He was going to resign. He resigned. The Ghanaians forgave him. Okay? All right? I think you should block some of these people from today. You know what? Yes, Hadi Mane Dabo, I'm going to block some of them, really, and I mean that. But look, the Ghanaians forgave Rollins. They forgave him because he delivered on his promise, right? Even though he did terrible things. And the Ghanaians sat on and said, you know what? Because the man fulfilled his promise. But Yahya Jammeh put this country on the impasse, political impasse. Revenue was lost. Look at the budget speech. If you listen to the budget speech, the service sector, the contribution and the performance on the tourism and services, downturn in their sectoral contributions to GDP, and the minister says because of the political impasse, he gave this country into 2 months. People ran away. People, economic loss and every day. How can Gambians easily forgive such a foolish man, such a monster? And then you guys want to still celebrate that person in our faces, in our noses, and you think that's easy to take. And you say in the name of democracy, we should allow them to celebrate that monster in our faces. Not everybody can take it. Probably I can take it, but maybe you have got Lamin Kamara out there in Busumbala, or Lamin in Mbase, or Usman Jallo in Mbase, who cannot take it. Everybody is different. So the best way, if you are really mean well, all right, if you really mean well, Lamin Tamba, come out with the stupid rhetorics that you are saying here on the thing, we want to have peace. APRC should start nipping this in the bud, and the way to do it is dissociate themselves from that criminal. Okay? All right? Once you dissociate yourself from that criminal, select a new leader, apologize to the Gambian people, and you see where the Gambian people are not going to get olive branch to APRC. We should build bridges. We shouldn't bomb bridges. But there is a way to build bridges. It really hurts a lot of Gambians. And it's not comforting for Gambians. When I arrived in this country, yesterday when I drove past those APRC supporters and saw the Asabi of Yahya Jammeh, I was really mad. I was really mad. Probably I had the temperature to control myself. I'm not going to do this. But you are mentally provoking Gambian people. All right? You see the problem with most Gambians is they just look at things in a narrow world. To Gambians, provocation means taking stone and throw it to somebody else. That's not the provocation. You can mentally provoke somebody. The mentally provoking Gambians were in that stupid asobi of Yahya Jammeh. And people like Idibaji, who are disguising themselves, saying that they are not APRC supporters, but today he is talking about, but he confessed to me that he's not an APRC supporter. All right, but today he's but I'm not a fool. I see anybody, anytime you talk about APRC, he's always defending. He's always on Facebook. I say to myself, you are an APRC supporter. Why don't you come out and openly admit that you're an APRC supporter? You have right to support any party that you want, but you cannot be calling people and saying, Mansa, I'm not an APRC supporter, but on the whole, you're an APRC supporter. This is sad. It's a free society. You can support any political party you want. When I support UDP, I didn't hide it. All right? All right? Because, look, I have right to be affiliated with any political party that I want. All right? That's my choice. I criticized UDP in the past, but I also apologize to UDP when they did something good. Okay? I came about. But the point here is APRC doesn't mean well for Gambia. The reason why I said APRC, anybody who wants to depend on APRC, you're just being disingenuous to Gambian people. And same on whoever you are. I don't care who you are. Same on you. These PDIS supporters now who are thinking now they have, because PDIS, they know when it comes to voting, they will never even get 7% in this country. They will never even get 5% in this country. For them, they have to rely on getting support of APRC to break the ice in terms of getting popular. They are relying on Daysan. So that's why you see APRC supporters in Daysan. They are now backing each other on social media with PDI supporters. It's embarrassing. The party that institutionalized criminality in this country, and you have gone some of the PDIs. I'm not going to generalize. I have seen few PDI supporters on social media openly. And now, even if you attack PDIs, who normally goes there and defend them? APRC supporters. Idi Baji and all Islam in Tambas will go there. Are you guys forming a marja? You want to form a marja? Go ahead and form a marja. Go ahead and form a marja if you want. Who cares if you form a marja? All right? But anybody who wants to form, I'm not saying that APRC supporters leave the APRC and join you, PDIS. You have no control over that. Right? We have seen some APRC supporters that join UDP. But politically, if you want to align yourself with APRC, that will be a big embarrassment to your political party, PDIS. That will be the biggest coup in our political discourse. All right? So I'm waiting for Eddie Badji to confirm, but he hasn't answered whether he's APRC. Because he told me once that he's not APRC. But now, I'm seeing he can't tell us what to do. When did you join APRC? Tell us. You shouldn't hide. So I'm going to draw my Facebook Live here. I've been here for the longest period. This is the only Facebook Live that I'm doing in Gambia, and I think this will be the last time. This will be hopefully. It's because of the security situation that warranted me to make a Facebook Live. I think the government should be in charge. Our government should not be complacent on our security. Be the IGP, the Minister of Interior. The Gambians are not going to be tolerant on security in this country. We don't want you to be heavy-handed. We don't want you to exercise heavy-handedness. Using unwarranted use of force against the citizens. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to start using live ammunition. But we want the security, the law and order to be maintained. And APRC, the earlier you apologize to Gambian people, the better, and stop mentally provoking people. I'm going to emphasize that because that's the missing link that APRC people cannot stupidly understand. They think to them provocation is throwing stones at people or vandalizing vehicles. Provocation comes in many ways. You have what you call mental provocation. You are mentally provoking victims of this country. Consciously or subconsciously, you are mentally provoking Gambians. And unless you stop that, and all these people who are writing on social media trying to defend APRC, because there are some people who want to bring partisanship into this. Once UDP's name is mentioned, we've got certain DSS, who would jump just to have a political point with UDP. They want to bring it. We know them. They know themselves. We don't need to mention their names. All right? I think we all know each other in the diaspora now. We all know each other. We all know who is who. All right? There are people who have just got hatred, and it's in them. And some of them are stupidly based on tribalism. I'm going to say that. I said it the other day, and Mahmoud now is going to tag me. I'm going to repeat that again. They have tribal shadow undertones. They do. But we all can read between the lines. We can all, I wasn't there. Somebody's asking, I wasn't there. I wasn't at the scene, but I watched the Facebook Live. I think Father Rahman covered it, Facebook Live, and I had an interview with the Imam. We all heard what they said. So the point here is, unless we try to be clever and don't hide behind stupid tribal insinuations in our political discourse, and the real to ourselves, okay, for some it's all about their bucket book. Bucket book. This Nyominga lady, I don't know what she's talking about. Banna Juve. Yalla Nyomingol, I don't like what's back anyway. But anyway, thank you guys. Been here for long, and I'm on holiday. I shouldn't be spending so much time on Facebook Live, but this is my few cents to national discourse. Let's keep the discussions healthy, and I hope this will be the last political violence that we witness in the Gambia for the next, for the longest period. Look, Senegal is our next door neighbor. Do we hear them going political violence? They're moving on. Their country is moving on. You go to Dakar, they're moving on with development. Right now, we should be focusing on development, institutional development. Okay, that's what we said. We shouldn't be wasting our time vandalizing people's cars. Okay, pocket book. Okay, thank you, Banajuv. Yalla told me English no far. Nyomin gal tojo English no far. The body people. Allah angale no far. Come gal tonya anyway. So I understand this is typographical error. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you want to write a word and then you end up writing something else. It does happen. But thank you to all of you for watching my live Facebook Live. Until when I'm back in the UK, then I will do Facebook Live. Until then, good night. Thank you.